When you think about the iQOO Z series, one thing immediately comes to mind. Performance without spending flagship money. So today, we are pushing the all-new iQOO Z11 as hard as we possibly can. Under the hood, it gets the new MediaTek Dimensity 7500 Turbo paired with up to 12 GB of LPDDR4X RAM, UFS 3.1 storage and a 3800 square millimeter vapour chamber for cooling. Now, this obviously isn't the most powerful hardware we've ever tested. But for a phone under 40,000 rupees, it's a pretty interesting package. And we are not just going to throw benchmark numbers at you. We are putting the iQOO Z11 through back-to-back AnTuTu and Geekbench runs, a 3D mark stress test, CPU throttling, and finally 30 minutes of BGMI gameplay. Because a big benchmark score is great, but what really matters is whether the phone can sustain that performance once things start getting hot. So before we get started, hit subscribe, leave a like, and let's start torturing this thing. Alright, so we've kept the phone on flight mode with Wi-Fi enabled, running its highest performance mode, fully updated, and all our benchmark apps are on their latest versions. And we're starting up with 100% battery. Okay, let's start with AnTuTu. This gives us a good overall picture of CPU, GPU, memory, and storage performance. Okay, round 1. And we're done. The surface temperature currently is at 32.3 degrees, and the iQOO Z11 scored 1.10 million on AnTuTu. Time for round 2. And round 2 is complete. Let's check the temperature. It now stands at 33.2 degrees and it has scored at 1.11 million. Well, this is surprising because the score has jumped a little. More importantly, comparing these two scores gives us the first indication of how well the Z11 can sustain performance under repeated load. Next up, Geekbench 6. This focuses specifically on CPU performance. Single core gives us an idea of everyday responsiveness, while multi-core is more relevant for heavier workloads and multitasking. Let's run it. Okay, so round 1 of Geekbench is done. Let's take a look at the thermals. We're sitting at 33.4 degrees. For the scores, we have 1116 on single core and 3280 on multi-core. And again, no cooldown, straight into round 2. And done. Let's check the thermals. It's at 33.9 degrees. The single core stands at 1128, while the multi-core 3314. Very minor differences. Now, we'll give the phone 10 minutes to cool down before moving on to something much nastier. Now, the 3D Mark Wildlife Extreme Stress Test. It runs 20 consecutive GPU loops, making it a much better indicator of sustained gaming performance than one quick benchmark. Let's roll. And we are done. Let's check the thermals. It's at 36.7 degrees. It recorded a best loop score of 1167, a lowest loop score of 1162, and a stability of 99.6%. That stability score is the important one because it tells us how much performance the GPU loses once heat starts building up. And from what we can see, the gaming performance should be good. And also this is where that 3800mm squared vapour chamber should be doing most of its work. Next, the 15-minute CPU throttling test. This maxes out the CPU continuously to see how aggressively performance drops under sustained load. Let's go. And that's done. The Z11 is at 37.7 degrees now, and it managed to maintain 93% of its maximum performance. You can see the behavior clearly from the graph here. The flatter this curve, the better the chipset and cooling system are at maintaining performance. We also played BGMI for about half an hour on the Z11 right after the benchmarks, and these were the results. We got an average FPS of 58.9, 5% lows of 55.2 and a jump in internal temperature to 37 degrees. A pretty solid performance overall. And gaming on this 1.5K 144Hz curved AMOLED display is pretty enjoyable as well. But we wish we were getting 120 FPS or at least 90 FPS. Maybe a software update can fix that. Now let's take a look at the battery. We started this entire test at 100%. After AnTuTu, Geekbench, 3D Mark, CPU throttling and about half an hour of BGMI, we are down to 77%. That's where the massive 7050 mAh battery becomes a serious advantage. And we have some serious fast charging too, thanks to the 44-watt charger. So, where does that leave the iQOO Z11? Based on our testing, this looks like a phone built around sustained performance rather than just chasing one impressive benchmark number. You're getting solid gaming performance, respectable thermals, fast storage, strong endurance, and enough processing power for smooth battery performance, great gaming at a price that actually makes sense. So if performance is your main priority under 40,000 rupees, the iQOO Z11 certainly deserves to be on your radar. So, what do you think of the Dimensity 7500 Turbo? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this performance test useful, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.